Hi everyone, it's me Joe, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video for my channel. It's actually one that I've been laughing at for a couple of years on YouTube. Trends you want to see die in the year before. And as we're coming to the end of 2017, which has actually been a fantastic year for me, I know a lot of people don't think the same, but I have had the most incredible things happen this year, which I've really been grateful for. And I wanted to do this video, or not as kind of my end of year highlights, because I've got that coming, but I wanted to do something to kind of cap off what I've thought about the beauty community, the trends I've seen pop up in my absence. I do feel like, you know that scene in Simba where he comes home and sees the Pride Land full of wild hyenas with fake lip injections and bad wigs? That's kind of what I feel about YouTube right now. But anyway, we will get into the video. So trends I absolutely despise, and let me explain my mindset. Lip injections, and the reason why I feel like this has gone a little bit wild, I feel like people are actually getting lip injections to wear the makeup trends. You're meant to be wearing makeup to make you feel better about yourself, to be creative. To actually have to have your lips changed to fit a trend is just so bizarre to me. I don't want to see you guys all in your teenage years jump to get lip injections on a trend, and what you don't realise is when you move your mouth, I don't know what even is a good example of this. People always say that filler is dissolvable and you can get rid of it, but that's not the case, because when you inject something and it's staying in your face, you create like almost a casing for it of scar tissue and collagen. Be very careful with what you get done to your face, because if you have something put into your face, it's no different from an implant. It just dissolves over time because your body breaks it down. It will actually leave some aspect of that behind, and also on top of that, it can stretch and malform your face. And I've seen people get so much done that it looks almost like they have a sinus infection because they have a filler that they had in their cheek. Because they smile so much, it shifted down here and formed almost like a sausage of filler here. You have to be really careful about that, because you're going to get it topped up there and you're going to end up looking like a wild snapping turtle, and that's not a look. Next on my list of trends that I want to see die is I really want to see the end of gossip videos. Now, I know you guys love to get the views, you love to get your little checks at the end of the month, but at the end of the day, I think they're a source of negativity. They perpetuate the most nonsense I've ever heard about people. Considering like I was with the same management as people like Manny and Patrick, and they all want to talk about these crazy people, and I think some of them are getting their comeuppance for the stuff they've done in the past. Others are just being talked about because they want to bounce off their videos, and I think that it's just poor taste, it's bad karma, and I don't think that it's an appropriate way to do your videos. If you wanted to talk about someone and you had a really interesting thing to say, why not talk about the MPs in your area, to talk about political changes you can make for your community? Why not investigate things that people don't know about? I just don't understand why people will waste their time talking about it. I'd rather bounce off a news video and see a social justice person get some AdSense money than see someone talk about nonsense. And also, you guys need to stop exaggerating these people's successes. Like, Jesus Christ, there hasn't actually been anyone that's been that financially successful yet. People are on their way there, but there's not something that I would think that's an aspirational thing from our generation of the beauty community. Now, there are people in the UK that have done a great job with great backers, especially from Gleam, and I'm very proud and happy for them as UK people that are nice people, but the American clique is just a waste of air. I'd rather just you guys talk about something interesting. Talk about your favourite book. Try that. Next on my list of trends I want to see die after this year, and this is again more of a kind of, I don't know, I think there is a shame about making money on YouTube, which doesn't make any sense. So what I mean by that is people are making these videos where they're making comments in them saying, oh, I don't do sponsored videos, but then they have a full list in their description of affiliate codes. Well, you do sponsored videos because every item you're actually using in your video has been sent by a PR company. You haven't paid for it. You probably wouldn't use that product if you went out and bought your own. You'd use things that you probably had used before or had an interest in. You wouldn't necessarily use a mascara that was just in front of you. That's sponsoring you. Having people buy codes with affiliate codes and all these things, that's sponsoring you. Being paid an advert midway, the beginning and the end of your video is being sponsored. What this comes from is just bad business and bad business acumen of the influencers, because they are basically repeating what their managers have told them. And why would a manager say don't take sponsored deals? Because they want to get their 30%, and they're actually saying it so people don't negotiate their own business deals. So I would like people to stop saying, oh, it's untrustworthy to actually be doing sponsored content. No, it's not. It's like saying like the Emmerdale is untrustworthy because it has a gravy advert in the middle of it. It doesn't make any sense. What's untrustworthy is saying you're doing something and you're doing something completely different. That's untrustworthy. And there's a lot of people that are selling products that they don't actually have any involvement in the process of, and saying they developed the formula. And I know for a fact from working as a developer with products in stores across the country that that's not the case. So I would like to see that die. Now let's lift the mood and talk about makeup and things of this nature. I would like to see people stop doing makeup for photographs. Now, I think everyone wants to be popular on Instagram for whatever reason. Maybe it massages their ego. Maybe they think they're going to get a paycheck that they're not getting right now from it. Maybe they think it's an easier job than working in Tesco's. Well, I would say try and do something that is rewarding for you. I saw this really lovely story actually on This Morning, this woman that actually got obsessed with her Instagram filters and got surgery, and what actually helped her was actually going off and doing charity and working with animals. And I do think that's a really important thing to put out there. You guys don't need to get obsessed with this. You don't need to feel pressured into looking a certain way. You can be yourselves. And I do think people haven't got any confidence in trying new ideas. I think people's confidence levels are down here. I think people have been talking about anxiety a lot more, and I just would like to see people be more individualized. I do think it starts when people stop to try and be like everyone else. I would like to see people just be individual. And if you're going to do makeup to fit your favorite trend you see on Instagram, please be aware that when I turn off this light, and I'm not going to turn off that one because it doesn't turn back on, I don't look too crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look like I've got a silver line on my face. You can't see harsh brown lines on my face because I don't wear makeup for this bloody lighting. I wear makeup to make me look good in everyday lighting. And I've been out and I've seen people walking around the streets that have obviously followed these trends. They've gone from a contour blueprint and they look crazy. You guys look crazy. So please be very aware that I know it's cool to get those lights on a picture, but it's probably cooler to have a nice time without you looking like a tiger in daylight. So let's stop that and start being original, and maybe it will build your confidence more. Finally, I think for my trends I want to see die in 2017, I would like people to stop talking politics from a very, I guess you would say, an ignorant perspective. I think people are discussing things at such a low and shallow level all the time, and they believe they're being an activist, or they believe they're doing good for whatever causes they believe in. And I think most of the time people come from the best intentions, but I do think a lot of people are very misinformed and ill-educated when it comes to these things. And I do wish you guys would look more into policy than identity, because there's so much discussion about the nefarious things that are being said by the president in the US, or the ridiculous things that happen over here. Being handed a P45, whatever the letter that Theresa May got, for example, that's not as important as the things that are actually going on. And people don't seem to be aware of the track record of the people they're defending, or the campaign backing that they're getting. You really need to investigate this before you start sharing your opinion, because it's breeding this kind of cult-like following. We're moving into an area where it's almost like you can't disagree with what you're told is right, when you should be able to have a discussion and start understanding things in a little bit more of a deeper way. And I do wish a lot of LGBTQ people looked at their history, looked at what we're actually fighting for, and the rights that affect us. If your partner's in a coma, not being able to see them as next of kin, certain areas on it. Well, there's a big kind of change at the moment, I think, which will happen in the UK next year, which is about blood donation, which will see a big impact. And there's so much more that we can talk about. So please look into your history. It's great to be fighting the right cause if you've got the right intentions to do so, but do it from a research position. Sharing your views on Twitter is not as effective as talking to your local councillor or MP, or whatever the situation is in America, because I don't know the correct terms for US politics and everything. But talk to your representatives, go out there and see what they're doing for you. And I think it makes a little bit more of a better outcome than just ranting and raving on social media, because I think the reason why Trump got into presidency was because a lot of the time people were so outraged by his stupid things he said that they would talk about it, and then Twitter would just advertise it because it was trending. Whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, it was being pushed down our throats. And I think it gave people more of a like, the best thing to do if you don't like someone is to not say anything about them. Do you know what I'm saying? And they start to disappear. The more you talk about someone, the more energy you give them in every sense. So that would be my final trend. I want to dye. And I didn't want to talk necessarily too much about the styles and makeup because I want you guys to be whatever you want to be happy, be fun, be confident, but just be very conscious of what's going on. Alright guys, well I hope that was enjoyable. Please check out my other videos if you're new to my channel. I have lots and lots and lots coming. Check out my recent update. I've got a few more coming, including a cribs tour. And yeah, alright guys, I will see you all in my next video, and I hope you've had as great a year as me, and let's hope 2018 is even better. Alright guys.